First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Thursday, March 19th. We are marching straight through this month. Hannah, I'm Ashley Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Hannah Fink.
Hannah, we had a beautiful, kind of a chilly start to the morning, but spring is on our doorstep tomorrow. So it'll get a little warmer.
I know we have the spring equinox tomorrow, so even though we had the first meteorological day of spring not too long ago, now we have the first official day of spring. There's a lot of first official days of spring and fall if you really think about it. And temperatures are warming up. We're no longer going to see these freeze warnings. Hopefully we're done. I'm not going to say it's the last one of the season because last time I did that we had one this week, so sorry about that. But here's a look at our Eastern Shore Toyota camera network. Beautiful conditions outside right now, not really a cloud in the sky, and temperatures are nice and toasty out there, and they're going to continue to go up. We're going to be in the 70s today, right where we're supposed to be. 60s across the area right now. 64 in Mobile, 64 in Gulf Shores, 64 in Milton, 63 in Evergreen, 61 in Chatham, and 61 over in Lucedale. Here's a look at the next 5 hours. 67 degrees by noon. Then we'll be into the 70s starting at 1 o'clock. We'll stay into that 70s range till about this evening. It's going to be a great day for any outdoor plans you may have. If you're taking a lunch break outside, maybe even a quick stroll on your break as well. By the time we get to this afternoon, our highs will be about right where they're supposed to be, maybe a couple degrees above average. We're usually about 72 degrees this time of year. We're forecasting a high of 73 in Mobile, 75 over in Chatham, 74 in Evergreen, 74 in Crestview, 71 in Pensacola, 68 in Fairhope, and 76 in Leaguesville. Now in the long range, we're not really tracking much in the weather world because of a high pressure system that is moving into our area. This hill shape right there, that is that high pressure. It'll make its way into our area by this weekend. Now, what does that do for us? It creates a warming trend. It gets rid of cloud coverage. It gets rid of rain chances. And good news for us, because we've been quite busy in the severe weather world, we won't have much severe weather in the long term either. So we're going to have warmer than average temperatures. And then that also means our rainfall outlook is going to be drier than normal. So definitely want to get on a consistent watering schedule out there, especially over the next 10-day period, because Mother Nature will not be helping us out much with that. Now here's a look at our warming trend. Right where we're supposed to be for our day today, then slightly above average for our day on Friday, then 80 starting on Saturday. So a great way to welcome in spring. We'll have a more detailed look at your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Hannah, thank you. And first in our headlines today, the war with Iran now enters day 20. U.S. Central Command says American forces have hit nearly 8,000 targets inside Iran and have destroyed or damaged 120 Iranian naval vessels. But defense officials continue to give no timeline for the ending of the operation. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the very latest now from the Pentagon briefing earlier today.
Strike after strike after strike. U.S. forces continue to target the Iranian Navy, threatening key shipping routes near the Strait of Hormuz. And the Pentagon says attacks are only ramping up.
Today will be the largest strike package yet. Our capabilities continue to build. Iran's continue to degrade.
Defense officials say Iran has no air defenses, no navy, and most of its weapons production factories have been destroyed. But the regime continues to lash out, launching what missiles they have left towards Israel and Gulf countries.
They came into this fight with a lot of weapons. This is why we continue to be as aggressive and assertive as we can against their ballistic missile capability.
That's keeping the U.S. in this fight, although the mission is still within President Trump's loose 4-week timeline.
It will be at the president's choosing, ultimately, where we say, hey, we've achieved what we need to on behalf of the American people to ensure our security. So no time set on that, but we're very much on track.
So far, 13 U.S. service members have been killed as part of Operation Epic Fury, with 6 of them returning home yesterday. After attending the dignified transfer alongside the president, Secretary Hegseth made this promise to their families.
We will finish this. We will honor their sacrifice. Their sacrifice only steals our commitment.
To do that, the Pentagon is asking Congress for more money, at least $200 billion, to replenish munitions and prepare for what's next. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And meanwhile, in Florida, a community comes together to welcome home another fallen hero. Officials held a dignified transfer yesterday in Polk County for 35-year-old Army Major Cody Cork. His flag-draped casket arrived at Lakeland Linder International Airport and was escorted to a funeral home in Winter Haven. Major Cork was one of 4 soldiers killed in a drone attack in Kuwait earlier this month while supporting Operation Epic Fury. His family and friends are remembering him as a superhero and a true commander. Well, travelers are still seeing long security lines at airports all across the country as staffing shortages continue, and sub-hubs may have to shut down entirely. TSA workers have already missed a paycheck because of the partial shutdown, leading many to call out sick or pick up second jobs. According to DHS, rates of absenteeism hit at least 30% in New York, Houston, and New Orleans this week. Officials warn smaller hubs may have to close altogether. But finding a resolution to the shutdown may not be easy. Democrats claim they've tried multiple times to fund parts of DHS that would pay TSA workers but were blocked by Republicans.
Why hold TSA hostage? Why hold passengers at our airports who are waiting on long lines hostage?
They are refusing to reopen TSA and FEMA for the American people unless they can also reopen the borders for illegal aliens.
With spring break travel ramping up, airport officials here are asking travelers to arrive at least 3 hours before their scheduled departure. In the meantime, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says there's still a lot of uncertainty about how President Trump's tariffs will work out over time, and that's prompting a surge of lawsuits. In the month since the Supreme Court invalidated most of the tariffs, more than 100 U.S. companies have filed legal actions asking for their money back. The list includes powerful names like FedEx, Dollar General, and Brooks Brothers. And while there's an expectation that the impact of tariffs will fade eventually, Powell says that's not happened yet.
These elevated readings largely reflect inflation in the goods sector, which has been boosted by the effects of tariffs.
Same time, businesses are closely watching a report due in June, which could determine whether tariffs get ramped back up. The president is trying to use a provision called Section 301, allowing him to raise tariffs on countries found to be taking advantage of unfair trade prices. And in our local headlines today, charges against a Mobile man accused of participating in a robbery that turned deadly will go to a grand jury. A judge this morning finding that prosecutors have enough evidence to present a felony murder charge against Rodney Davis Jr. Now, prosecutors allege that Davis and Javelli Alexander were both trying to rob a man in the parking lot across the street from the Sanger Theater on the night of Joe Cain Day. They say even though the robbery victim shot Alexander to death, it is Davis who is responsible because he was engaged in a felony crime at the time. Fox 10's Brendan Kirby was in the courtroom this morning, and he'll have more on this case this afternoon coming up on Fox 10 News at 5. And we are also learning more today in the case surrounding a Mobile mother accused of felony murder. Prosecutors say Amanda Marie Morgan left her 2 teenage children, both with severe autism, home alone overnight. While she was gone, her 14-year-old son became entangled in his blanket and passed away. Her 16-year-old daughter was hospitalized from malnutrition, and investigators say the home was simply unlivable. Morgan's bond was set at $400,000 for felony murder and $40,000 for aggravated child abuse. Now, the judge ordered no contact with her daughter either. Morgan is due back in court later on next week. And authorities say a third person has died weeks after a fiery crash on Interstate 10 in Mississippi. State troopers have identified him as 29-year-old Raymond Burtman. His mother, Dawn Bortman, says her son was being extradited from Florida to New Jersey after failing to appear in court for a DUI charge. She said he'd already hired an attorney and planned to face the charges. But during the trip along Interstate 10 last month, the van he was riding in suddenly cut across several lanes, slamming into a utility vehicle before crashing into a metal pole and erupting in flames. Officials say the inmates were handcuffed with waist chains and shackles in a closed compartment in the back of this van. Dawn says she can't imagine why her son was restrained like this in the vehicle.
shackled like he's a murderer, you know? It just doesn't make sense that they just thrown into a box and shackled and cuffed.
So far, investigators have not released details on what they believe caused the van to leave the road. We'll keep you updated on this story. Also today, 20-year-old Jonathan Robinson and a 16-year-old suspect facing a judge in the Pritchard murder case. Robinson is now being held without bond. Prosecutors tell us he was out on probation for a previous robbery charge. A 16-year-old suspect was given a $350,000 bond in the case as well, and both are facing felony murder charges. They're accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Isaiah Johnston. Investigators say Sunday's shooting started when the group inside the car with him tried to rob him. Detectives say surveillance video shows 6 guys arriving at the scene and the moment when shots were fired. The sheriff's office identified 3 others as juveniles. Deputies say they'll also receive felony murder charges as well. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, the Miss UM competition is being held in a couple of weeks. We sit down with a few contestants in a live interview to talk about the program's rich history and legacy after the break. But first, Hannah, a lovely day to be at the beach.
It really is, and we also have great beach conditions, a low risk of rip currents over the next 3 days and even in the next 5 days as high pressure starts to settle in and even our temperatures start to go up as well. A little bit on the cooler side to be at the beaches today, but pleasant conditions going into this weekend. We'll have more on your overall forecast and what to expect in the long term coming up after this break.
Them was so easy. You don't pay them a dime unless they win. Call Morgan & Morgan.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. Today, the 61st annual Miss University of Mobile pageant is ready to take center stage. The event first began in 1965, and while the crown shines just as bright, the mission has evolved. Today, it's no longer preliminary to Miss Alabama, but a powerful ambassador program representing the heart of the university. And joining me now today are 3 candidates ready to carry on this unique tradition. We have Madeline, Kinsey, and Brooklyn. Thank you all so much for being here.
Of course.
Yes, this is super exciting. I know March 28th is the big day, so we have a few days leading up to this. Starting with you, Madeline, talk a little bit about the process of preparing for a competition like this.
The process, it is genuinely so much fun. I have created so many great friendships with people I would have never met if we would not have signed up for the competition. So it has just been so much fun. It is a little lengthy and kind of hard to learn all the material, but it's been so much fun and we'll be very well prepared for the pageant day.
We're so excited to see that. Can you briefly remind us what the phases of competition are? Because we know it's pretty involved.
Yes, so first we're going to have private interviews, and then competition day we'll start with opening number, and then we'll move to talent, and then do onstage question and evening gown.
Awesome. I know that the Campus Impact Initiative is such a big part of Miss UM. Kinsey, can you kind of tell us a little bit about what that's all about?
So the Impact Initiative, we're trying to focus on student involvement, obviously, with the program, but specifically we also want to focus on the Great Commission, and that is to multiply kingdom leaders for the glory of God and for the good of the world. And in that we have, like I said, the Great Commission Fund, and it's a long-time tradition that we've had at the University of Mobile where incoming freshmen get to touch the globe, Great Commission globe, and they're just committing their time to pursue the calling that the Lord has placed on their lives. And upon that time, whenever they come and graduate, and they touch that globe again, and they're being sent out. And that's what this program is really about, is being a sent people, being ambassadors for Christ. And we invite everybody to come alongside of us and to pray, to tell people about the mission of the University of Mobile, and to ultimately invest in the lives of these students. And Ambassador Program is a great way to get involved with that.
So cool, and so cool to see that you're taking on the Miss UM competition as well. By the way, scholarships are on the line for this program. I know that the Miss UM title gets a full year of tuition as well. We have scholarships for first runner-up, second runner-up, talent, Miss Congeniality. I was going to ask you, Brooklyn, what does this mean to you to not just compete, but also to be able to do something that will further your education?
Absolutely. So the Miss University of Mobile title is not just a title, it is a livelihood, and it represents the missions, the University of Mobile's core values, such as Christ-centeredness, being distinctively driven, academically focused, and student involved. And so that means that I love the Lord with all my heart, and that I also lead others to Jesus, that I'm committed to my studies. And so the University of Mobile is just a wonderful place, and it's going to be an honor to have this position, Lord willing, for any of us, and to be able to use that to further our education and grow in our leadership skills.
That's wonderful. I know that ultimately one person walks away with the crown, but truly in a way you all are a winner. I was Miss UM back in 2022. Chelsea was Miss UM in 2017. So again, a rich history of the Miss UM program here at Fox 10. But I want to talk a little bit about, before we're done, this sisterhood. Brooklyn, if you could just touch on that, walking away with friends.
Yes, absolutely. So Miss UM is a complete sisterhood, as you mentioned. When we all come together, we rehearse for the opening number, we laugh together, we enjoy a good time together, and we just bond. We share our stories, we share what we're passionate about, and exchange our desires for what we want to do in the world. So it really is an edifying and spiritually growing community.
That's wonderful. If you guys are watching right now and you want to grab tickets to go watch Miss University of Mobile, the information is on your screen right there. I'll actually be there as well. It's cheering every single one of you on. My husband Hugh and I are very excited to be this year's MCs and just again continue the beautiful tradition that Miss UM is in our community. You can find all of that ticket information on our website, fox10tv.com. Can't wait to see y'all in a little over a week.
Yay, so excited.
Taking a live look outside. Look at Mr. Bird right there, just chilling on with a nice sunny day out there and warmer temperatures, but he's happy, or she, whoever we are looking at. But we're happy with how warm these temperatures are being. We're freezing weather is finally over with. For our weather headlines, we're tracking a much nicer and warmer afternoon. That's going to stay consistent. Thanks to high pressure, we're going to have a warming trend coming in and great beach weather for those spring breakers here. So here's a look at our forecast highs today. We're going to be right around where we're supposed to be, maybe a couple degrees above average, but either way, it's going to feel great out there. We have lower humidity as well. 73 for a high in Mobile, 75 in Chatham, 73 in Monroeville, 73 in Milton, 69 in Gulf Shores, 71 in Pensacola, 68 for a high in Fairhope, and 75 over in Lucedale. So by the time we get to this afternoon, we'll be in the 70-degree range. Around 1 o'clock, we'll be in the lower to mid 70s across the area with mostly sunny skies, not really a cloud in sight. And for your evening planner, we'll be in the 70s till about 6 p.m. where we're going to get into the 60-degree range, then into the 50s by 9 o'clock tonight. Then for our forecast tonight, no freeze warning is in place. We're actually right where we're supposed to be, 51 degrees for a low in Mobile. Some more inland areas could be in the upper 40s, but overall not as cold as it has been. No chance for rain, mostly clear night. Cooler, but overall pleasant. Now here's a look at our beach forecast. Many people are here on vacation. Here's a look at what we're seeing for our beaches today. Low risk of rip currents, 64 for a high over in Dauphin Island. And then water temperatures are in the lower 60s, so a little bit on the cooler side again in the water, especially today, because our high is 68 in Gulf Shores as well as Orange Beach. Burn time, though, we do have a high risk of rip currents, a high UV rate. So that means you're going to want to apply that sunscreen because burn time is about 30 to 45 minutes. 67 for a high over in Pensacola Beach. Moving on over into that 70-degree mark over for Navarre Beach, and then 67 for Windhaven Beach, and then making our way over to Fort Walton Beach and Destin. 67 degrees for a high in both those locations. Rip current risk over the next 5 days is continuing to stay low, but you're still going to want to be cautious because you never know what could happen. But overall, we're not too concerned with our beach conditions. Now, even though it's a lot cooler to be at the beach today, many people are enjoying the beaches, but more people are going to head there probably this weekend with much warmer temperatures. Will start to be in the 80s with mostly sunny skies, no chance for rain, and that's all thanks to high pressure. High pressure system is going to be moving into the Fox 10 viewing area. That's this little hill shape right here. Now, what does that do for us? Brings in warmer temperatures, it decreases cloud coverage, and it also decreases our rain chances. So as you can see right now, We are on the drier side, but we're going to have much drier conditions as that high pressure system makes its way over to our area. This brown shading is much drier air, so that'll be on our way to our area. And with dry air means no rainfall over the next 7 days. And as you can see, the Climate Prediction Center is highlighting a drier than normal pattern for our area, which means you're going to want to make sure you're watering those plants, especially since our drought conditions aren't doing us any favors. So Mother Nature won't be helping us out, so make sure you get that hose ready or get some sprinklers out there. Especially in the next 7-day period, we're going to continue to have warm temperatures, sunny conditions, no chance for rain. The first day of spring is on our Friday and much nicer mornings ahead.
All right, Hannah, beautiful outlook there. It is 11:22 now. Coming up, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month. In today's Health Minute, find out how it affects pregnancy right after this.
Choice of 6 amazing colors, great style, great value, on sale at Rooms.
Welcome back. March is Endometriosis Awareness Month, a disease that happens when tissue similar to the uterine lining grows outside of the uterus, affecting millions of U.S. women, and not only causes severe pelvic pain and fatigue, but it's also linked to infertility. But there are ways to improve chances of pregnancy. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has a new mom's message after she feared endometriosis would stop her from having children.
Less than 3 weeks ago, Samantha Gross and her husband welcomed their son Cooper Jean into the world, but there was a time when they feared this would never happen.
I was absolutely heartbroken and really honestly just stressed about it every single day.
At the age of 28, after years of enduring pain and symptoms being dismissed, Gross was diagnosed with endometriosis. Surgery confirmed it was stage 2 of the disease and gave her relief. But then her focus turned to fertility. She found out endometriosis often makes it harder to get pregnant.
This is all we wanted.
Gross traveled to New York Gynecology Surgery and Endometriosis. The same doctors who did her surgery also guided her through fertility fears.
We have many patients who have undergone surgeries and have successful IVF after surgery, versus before surgery, they have multiple failures.
Gross's doctors say chronic inflammation, scar tissue, and impaired egg quality in patients with endometriosis can all make it harder to conceive.
The problem, too, also is these patients, it takes 7 to 10 years to be diagnosed. Most people really get pregnant between the ages of 25 to 35 or 40. After the age of 35, your fertility starts going down.
But Gross will tell you pregnancy is possible. Fertility treatments help make her dreams of a family a reality.
It's like a love that I've never experienced before.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Thanks for making Fox 10 Midday a part of your Thursday morning. Coming up, you could be paying more for Netflix. That story and more in your business headlines. Plus, the spring season is almost here, and there are tons of events happening along the Gulf Coast. We have a full preview of some of them when we come back.
Trailblazer, the barbecue buff, or the Cool Ranch guy. Big crunch, bold flavor. Gotta have a Wawa.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back in. It's time for your half-hour headlines on this Thursday. First today, the search continues for a University of Alabama student missing in Spain. Authorities say 20-year-old James Paul Jimmy Gracie was in Barcelona on spring break visiting friends studying abroad. He was last seen on March 17th at a nightclub in Barcelona's Port Olympic area, and investigators say he never returned to his Airbnb. Gracie is described as 6'1", 175 pounds. His picture behind me here. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, dark pants, and normally wears a gold chain with a rhinestone cross. Police have since opened an investigation and are reviewing security camera footage. And meanwhile, here in Mobile, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office telling Fox 10 News a forensics investigation shows the Chalk family died from stab wounds. 3 bodies were found March 11th in a lightly wooded area off Downing Road in Baldwin County. Investigators believe they are the missing Chalk family from Mobile County, last seen at their Theodore home in January. Investigators are still waiting for positive identifications, but say one victim was wearing a necklace with her name and another had a bracelet with his name. Hector Argueta Guerra faces 3 counts of capital murder in their deaths, and his attorney says he plans to plead not guilty to all charges. And finally, Okaloosa County says the SS United States is now set to be deployed in early May. Since arriving in Mobile last March, crews have been doing extensive work to prepare this ship for her final voyage. The legendary ocean liner will be towed 22 miles west off Destin Fort Walton Beach, where it will become the world's largest artificial reef. Okaloosa County plans to live stream the sinking with public viewing points planned across the county and here in Mobile. But the exact date will depend on weather conditions. Once we receive it, we'll pass it along to you here on Fox 10 News. In the business world today, the conflict in Iran has oil and fertilizer prices simply surging. Another sign companies are avoiding massive layoffs, and you could be paying much more for Netflix. Fox Business correspondent Madison Allworth has today's Fox Business Briefs.
Attacks on key energy facilities in the Middle East pushing oil prices up. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, topping $119 a barrel. In the U.S., regular gas has moved up to $3.88 per gallon.
Gas prices, energy prices will be lower than they were on February 28th. This is temporary. We will move beyond this.
On Wall Street, a sell-off on Wednesday after Fed Chair Jerome Powell cooled expectations for an interest rate cut this year. Meanwhile, the conflict in Iran has U.S. farmers worried about the cost and availability of fertilizer. They're expecting to pay 40% more compared to last year. Little change in new jobless benefits in the middle of this month. In the week ending March 14th, 205,000 people signed up for unemployment, a decline of 8,000 from the week before. And you could be paying more to watch Netflix now that its Warner Brothers deal is out of the way. City analysts say Netflix is in a better position to raise subscription prices now that regulators are no longer closely watching the company. In New York, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
Taking a live look over in Pensacola Beach. People are out there trying to enjoy their beach day. A little cooler to be out on the beach, but I'm sure the sun feels amazing out there. UV is high, so don't forget that sunscreen. And we do have a low risk of rip currents continuing over the next 5-day period. Definitely jealous of everybody out there right now, especially over in Orange Beach. Another great look out there, especially on our Eastern Shore Toyota Cameron network. And as you can see, temperatures over the next 5 hours are going to be in the upper 60s. Some of us could be getting to that 70-degree range. So like I said, a little cooler side on the beach, but hey, spring breakers are here and they're going to enjoy it, especially after how cold it was the last 3 days. So as you make your way out the door over the next few hours, temperatures will make it into the 70s by 1 o'clock. Then we'll be in the lower 70s till about 5 o'clock this evening. Southerly wind out there, but we're still going to have lower humidity. Here's a look for a forecast broken down by each location. 68 for a high in Pascagoula, 74 in Hurley, and 76 in Leakesville with plenty of sunshine, and that's the case for everybody across the Gulf Coast. We'll have a high of 75 in Chatham, 75 in Coffeyville, 74 in Grove Hill, 73 in Monroeville, 74 in Brewton, and 73 over in Atmore. And then moving into Mobile and Baldwin County, we'll have a high of 73 in Mobile, 72 in Grand Bay, 64 in Dauphin Island, 75 in Mount Vernon, 71 in Robertsdale, and 68 degrees over in Gulf Shores. Then moving into Northwest Florida, we'll have a high of 71 in Pensacola, 74 in Jay, 74 in Crestview, 67 in Fort Walton Beach, as well as Destin, then 73 over in Walnut Hill. Now, speaking of beach, over the next 3 days, temperatures are a little bit on the cooler side. Like I said, we're probably only going to make it into the upper 60s today, but luckily tomorrow and into the weekend, much warmer conditions, lower 70s for our forecast for our Friday near the beaches, mid to upper 70s starting this weekend with the low risk of rip currents continuing. And like I said, you're going to want to make sure you have that sunscreen because we do have a high UV, but still be cautious at the beaches because rip currents can still happen. But overall, conditions are looking favorable. But for our evening planner, great conditions. Like I said, 70s till 5 o'clock. We're transitioning into the 60s by 6 p.m. with sunny skies out there, 50s by 9 o'clock tonight. And then tonight, no freeze warning in place. We're actually right where we're supposed to be. A cooler but pleasant feel of 51 degrees with mostly clear skies. And then transitioning into our day planner tomorrow, about right where we're supposed to be. Excuse me, my goodness. Except we're actually going to be above average by the time we get into the afternoon. So we're where we're supposed to be to start off the day, then more moving into an above average feel. So we'll actually be in the upper 70s for our day tomorrow, but mostly sunny skies. Here's a look at our weekend outlook. 80 degrees on Saturday, 81 for our day on Sunday. No chance for rain. And then over the next 7-day period, first official day of spring is on Friday. And what better way to welcome in spring than with much warmer temperatures, a break from severe weather, no freeze warnings, no cold temperatures. Will be in a warming trend starting on Saturday with temperatures in the 80s. Warmest day looks to be on Monday in the mid 80s, and our morning lows are in the upper 50s. So definitely a nice 7-day forecast.
All right, Hannah, thank you. If you're looking at that forecast there and you still need something to do on this beautiful weekend, happening this weekend, Pensacola Bay will be the stage for some of the fastest sailboats in the world. The GL 52 Southern Series returns today, and Fox 10's Stephen Moody has more on the great weekend ahead.
The GL 52 Southern Series is back here in Pensacola, and it is a beautiful day for these boats to get out in the water. We had a chance to catch up with some of these crews before they set sail. Sailors from around the world are back on Pensacola Bay this weekend, racing for the Pensacola Cup, bringing in some of the fastest high-performance sailboats you'll see anywhere, along with amateur and professional crews, including sailors with America's Cup and Olympic experience.
We're looking forward to having great racing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of times you can come right down here to Palafox Marina and watch from land, because we set, when the wind direction's in the right direction, we can set up right off the bulkhead here.
For former competitors who now spend their time around the sport, it's amazing to see how far we've come and what these boats are capable of.
What makes it so great is the boat itself. In my view, it's the biggest boat you can put out on a race course where everybody on the team is equally important. And, the culture you have to build, the teamwork you have to put together makes this better than any level of sailing.
And one of the crews competing is from the boat named Katana, and they're ready to work together as a team to get it done.
Katana is the sword of the samurai. And the interesting thing is the samurai believes it's both he and the sword that win in battle. So it takes a team and the boat to win.
And they'll have throughout the entire weekend to compete before the series returns in April. Reporting here in Pensacola, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
All right, Stephen, thank you. Should be a wonderful weekend. Well, tonight, a big event for USA Health Providence Hospital gets underway. The Home and Garden Show's preview party begins at 6 and goes until 9. Our Lanice Lagan will be there to help get the party started during our 5 p.m. newscast. The Home and Garden Show is a curated event of antiques, design, and inspired living, bringing together renowned designers, artisans, and lifestyle experts for a one-of-a-kind experience. Tickets start at a little less than $27, and the 4-day event includes a Friday night bourbon tasting and 2 lecture series, but those are separated ticketed events. It is being held at the Outlaw Convention Center in downtown Mobile. We have more information on our website, fox10tv.com. Well, come check out the Fox 10 Storm Tracker truck this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Touch a Truck. Fox 10 meteorologists will be there to show you the ins and outs of the Storm Tracker. There will also be construction trucks, emergency vehicles, and other big machines. And you can climb inside, meet the operators, and explore the new STEM zone, where children can collect stickers and become a certified STEM explorer. The cost is just $25 per car, and this one is being held at the grounds in West Mobile. This fun event also benefits Adoption Rocks as well. And meanwhile, the Rubber Ducky Regatta benefiting Ronald McDonald House of Mobile is back for a 3rd year at OA Parks and Resort, where one lucky duck will win a prize package that includes 2 tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert at the Wharf, plus a 2-night stay in Orange Beach. What a deal there. This Saturday, up to 10,000 adopted rubber ducks will be dropped into the lake at OA Parks and Resort and will race to the finish line, where the top 3 ducky adopters will win some fabulous prizes. There are 5 duck packages you can purchase, starting with 1 duck for $5. And there will also be cooking demonstrations, a Ronald McDonald House scavenger hunt, train rides, bouncy houses, and other children's activities. All of the fun starts at 11 a.m. sharp and goes on until 5 p.m. with the duck race starting at 4. A lot going on this weekend, so some great events to check out. It's 11:41 now. Straight ahead on the show, the happiest countries are ranked, where the U.S. ranked. Plus, enjoy a free ice cream cone today. We have the details for you in your Midday Talkers next. And the Queen of Clean shows us a simple solution to keep your home smelling lemony fresh. All of those stories on the other side of the break.
Is everything.
Fox 10, Storm Tracker weather. Always ready, always streaming.
Welcome back. As the weather warms, we have a thrifty project to keep your house smelling lemony fresh this spring. Here's the Queen of Clean with a solution you can make at home.
Today, I want to show you how you can make your own lemon oil. It's cheap, you can use it for lots of things, and it smells like heaven. So let's get started and try making our own lemon oil. First of all, you need lemons, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a vegetable peeler and a lemon, and we're going to just peel it. So we're going to peel off strips of lemon, just like I'm doing here. And you can see how fast it goes. And make sure you're going someplace where they have inexpensive fruit. You don't need fancy lemons to make this. You're going to put it into a jar that has a cover. Then we're going to pour coconut oil over it. And you want to cover the lemons. Then we're going to put the lid on, give it a little shake, and we're going to sit it in the sun for a couple of weeks and give it a little shake every other day just to mix it. After a couple of weeks, you'll strain out the peels and keep the oil in your labeled container. Now, what can you do with this lemon oil? Well, number one, you can do what I do, and you can clean your shower doors with it. You take a scrubbing sponge, you put a little of the lemon oil on it, and you just start going over that shower door with it. It does a great job. It removes soap, scum, mineral deposits, and after you're done, you'll take a microfiber cloth. I always say how much I love these, and you'll buff that door off. It leaves a protected coating on, so you won't have such a hard time cleaning it the next time. It's safe, it's natural, it smells heavenly. I wish you could smell it over here. Now, what else can you do? You can make your own dust cloths out of it. Now, these will be lemon oil treated dust cloths. We're going to take microfiber cloths, and I do 5 or 6 of these at a time. And we're going to take our lemon oil, and normally I would put this in a little smaller bottle. We're going to put just a little of the oil onto our cloths. Just drizzle it on like that. Then you're going to fold it over again. You're going to fold it again and again, and you're going to twist and twist. Squeeze it really well in your hands. That makes it get through the cloth. Then you're going to put it away in your container. You're going to cover that container and leave it closed. And when you're ready to dust, all you have to do is pull out your container and start dusting. Leaves a great shine, leaves a great smell, doesn't put too much polish on your furniture. Now, for those of you who want to know how to make lemon polish that you can use, it's really easy. We're going to take a cup of olive oil. Now, it doesn't need to be extra virgin or the most expensive brand that's out there. And you're going to put in 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Now, you can use it out of a bottle, or you can actually squeeze a lemon. Whatever you want to do is fine. You're going to put the lid on. Make sure you label it. Give it a good shake to emulsify it. Think about like you're making maybe salad dressing. Shake it well, and when you're ready to dust, you'll put just a little on your cloth and dust with it. It puts a great shine on the furniture. It smells wonderful. And it's so good for conditioning your furniture. So give it a try. It's an easy way to make your own lemon oil. For more information, go to queenofclean.com. Thanks for talking dirty with the Queen of Clean.
So you have to have a little time on your hands.
Yeah, honestly, the first thing I said was I feel like the sun here would just ruin that. I feel like, putting it out in the sun to bake a little. No, it would bake here.
Scorch it. It would probably fry it for sure.
It probably would. And by the time, I'm too impatient to wait weeks for my lemon oil.
Sure,
honestly.
but I'm sure it smells beautiful.
I'm sure it does.
It smells really good. You can get something at Walmart for.
I'm
sure that smells the exact same
bleach
way
for my bathroom instead.
There you go. We're the same in that. Listen to this now. The World Happiness Report naming Finland the happiest country in the world again.
The Nordic country topping the charts for a 9th year in a row.
Other Nordic countries, including Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, also ranked among the top 10 countries.
The annual report published by the Wellbeing Research Center at the University of Oxford
highlighted how Finland and the other Northern European countries' steady ranking on top is tied to a combination of wealth, equal distribution, and a healthy life expectancy.
The United States is ranked 23rd in this report.
Guys, we need to be a little happier. I have heard that Finland is quite the place to be and quite the place to visit, and that the people just have a really kind and hospitable spirit there.
And there's just also so much to see and do there. I always see a lot of like social media content creators always talking about their vacations there, what you can do, the different seasons there, and what you can do during each individual season. Honestly, I'm not surprised, especially since it being the 9th year in a row. I've heard a lot about Finland.
Right. So if you're feeling a little down in the dumps, I guess Finland is the place to be. We should book a ticket.
Maybe a cold depressions therapy
Maybe
trip.
so, right? I like that. I like that idea. If you're looking for something fun today, though, you deserve a free ice cream cone. That's exactly what Dairy Queen thinks.
Maybe that'll get us up to 22.
Hey, I like that. I like the sound of that, at least for one day.
Right. The chain is celebrating Free Cone Day today, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, and all you have to do is go visit a Dairy Queen and you'll get a free vanilla soft serve cone, but you do have to do it in person.
The deal isn't available for delivery. Mall locations also aren't participating.
Good to know. The free ice cream is to mark something even more worth celebrating. The official start of spring, which is tomorrow. We've been talking about it all morning long.
And it's about to be hot, so what better way than to celebrate 80-degree temperatures than with a cone of ice cream?
I'll take ice cream any time of day, even if it's cold outside.
Too.
But it'll make it a little better tomorrow, for sure.
1,000%.
It's also a beautiful day today as well. Hannah, let's take a live look outside. Where are we looking here?
This time we're taking a look out at Dauphin Island, and it's a beautiful day across the coastline. Many people enjoying spring break. Low risk of rip currents. Make sure you do have that sunscreen on hand with a high UV. We'll have another deep dive into your forecast one more time coming up after this break.
For $10, save up to $4.50. Get Louisiana crawfish hot from the pot daily from 11 to 7.
Quite the surreal scene caught on camera in an airport gift shop when a very real stowaway was spotted hiding on a shelf full of stuffed animals. Jeremy Roth has this story in today's Take a Look at This.
Can you spot the imposter here? That's what an Australian airport challenged followers to do when they posted on social media video of a live possum found hiding amongst plush animal toys in a terminal gift shop. The strange scene unfolded inside Hobart Airport in the Australian state of Tasmania and was shared online to the delight of social media users who couldn't get enough of this incognito cutie. The airport said the possum was safely collected and relocated, and the gift shop area was sanitized. By the way, oddly enough, the odd scene was caught on cam by one Melissa Oddie. What are the odds? Here's another furry friend, not in hiding, but instead way out in the open and brazenly defying international law. This is Louie the cat, and this ditch is the border separating Canada and the United States in the town of Surrey, British Columbia. CTV reports Louie has become a local legend because he loves hanging out on and regularly crossing over said border, flouting international laws expressly prohibiting it. Also, how Canadian is it that the border is guarded only by a sign politely saying, "Please do not cross"? Louie's owner says he regularly smuggles caught critters over the line.
I bet he did not declare them.
Which is also technically a violation, but this brazen bad boy says phooey. Louie gonna do Louie. Finally, from back and forth to just back. Traffic camera footage captured a driver going backward in a vehicle down a Florida roadway. The man was pulled over by Flagler County officials and told them his car had been stuck in reverse, but the car appeared to be working normally. Deputies balked at the man's backward claim and instead moved forward, with arresting him on charges of habitually driving with a suspended or revoked license. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And fun fact, we actually aired that story yesterday as well, and he'd done that multiple times before.
Driving backwards?
Yes, that was not the first time that happened. It was also the banjo music in the background.
Yeah, that is what got me.
Glad no one was hurt.
Me too, but like, how does your car get stuck in reverse? Maybe you need a new car, especially if you end up getting arrested at the end of it.
Who knows? The things you'll see on the road. That's all I have to say.
Oh my goodness. But let's take one more final look at your weather. Here's a look at our catnap forecast. This is Miss Ebony, submitted in by Deborah Jones. 67 degrees by noon, then we'll be in the 70s by 1 o'clock. So a nice warm nap for your furry friends this afternoon. And here's a look into our day tomorrow. A little bit warmer than what we saw today. We'll be in the the lower 70s across the area. We'll be in the upper 70s tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. Then taking a look into this weekend. This is your beach forecast. We'll have a low risk of rip currents, and that's going to stay consistent over the next 5-day period. Temperatures in the mid 70s for Saturday as well as Sunday. So we have a warming trend in place thanks to high pressure. Tomorrow's the first official day of spring, and what better way to welcome it with 80-degree temperatures and no rain chances either. So make sure you're keeping up with your plants. They are definitely going to need water over the next 7-day period with how warm it's about to be, and morning lows in the 60s. Well,
just
close
the
to
most,
60s.
Yes, just the most perfect, ideal spring forecast to start off the season. Thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m.